All right, hi guys, Chef Don again. I'm going to show you how to quarter a chicken now. All right, now I'm going to show you how to quarter a chicken. First thing you're going to want to do is get rid of the wishbone, which if you look right there, you can see the bone right there, a little bit of bone right there. Just take your bony knife and cut along it, up, and up. Try not to get in the way. Get your hand inside there, find the wishbone. A lot of times it's broken. When they go through the process of taking the feathers off, sometimes they crush the bird and that wishbone will break off. But this bone is what people choke on a lot of time in restaurants because the wishbone was not taken out. So I always like to remove it to start with, just to be on the safe side. There it is. You want to make sure you get the knock at the top and all of the bone. All right, now with the rest of the bird, I'm going to show you how to take off the leg and thigh quarter, and then I'll leave you the breast quarter. You can also remove the wing joints from the very start right here. Sorry, getting in the way. Wing joint, you just want to cut through right where the joint is. Very simply cut that off. These are great, make little wings and stuff for later. I use them for stock. If you want to take off excess fat, you can, not necessary. So the first cuts you're going to make are going to be between the breast and the thigh. Breast and thigh on both sides. So little cuts and just through the skin. You just want to open it up so you can see. Then what you're going to do is you're going to open this up and pop the joint out just like that. You want to see that bone pop out of the joint. Then you're going to turn your chicken. You're going to cut right along the backbone. See this little fatty lump of meat right there? That's the oyster. That's what I'm trying to get to. So I'm going to cut down, get the skin out of the way so you can see. I'm going to cut down where this bone is right here, down to here to that joint that I just took out, that joint that I just popped out, and then I'm going to pull, but I'm going to show you this first so you can see. So cut as close to the backbone as you can, but not into the backbone. All right, you should be cutting through the meat. That bone, if you're cutting through bone and sawing through bone, you've gone too far over and you're cutting into this area, and that's not what you want to do. You want to be on this side of that backbone where the, what do they call this? The parson's nose is. It's like the little tail of the chicken, just on that little side of it. So you're going to take and cut, and when I do this, see if I can show it to you best. Cut through the cartilage that's there so that it releases it. And what I'm trying to do is pull this so that that part right there, that's the oyster, comes away nice and pretty. Then I just cut the skin off, make a leg and thigh quarter. The other side I find easier to turn around and do backwards, basically, but it's still doing the same thing. I'm not cutting down into the meat, I'm cutting on this side of it, of the bone, I'm sorry, on this side of that backbone. Get the skin out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Down to where the bone, the one I popped out, the leg bone that I popped out, that thigh bone, I'm going to cut through the tendons that are along there as best I can without cutting. I'm not cutting, I'm not digging into it. I'm gently cutting through it so that as I get to the part where the articulation is, I can see that oyster and I can pull it away and I get that oyster meat. Again, another leg thigh quarter. Beautiful. Now for the backbone, some chefs remove the backbone in a myriad of different ways. I'm going to show you the way I like to do it. Get the leg and thighs out of the way. There is a bone right there. It's like the first rib cage bone. I cut through and up. Same thing on the other side. I'll find that bone right there. I'll cut through and up. Then what I do is I bring my knife back to where I cut through the first time, right up to the backbone, turn my knife straight down and go straight down. Cuts through all that bone. Same thing on the other side. I can get around here and show you. Come into it, come straight down. See if I can do that. Try to do it this way. I get the backbone. That goes into my bowl with the wings. Lovely backbone for stock. Now, I've got my bird. I've got my whole body of the bird left over. Get the little bits out of the way. You'll notice right where this whole thing is, and I call this the witch's nose. Right where this is a piece of bone, piece of cartilage. As the bird gets older, this piece of cartilage becomes bone, and the chicken gets to a stewing stage, so you have to cook it a different way. But right now, it's a young chicken. So I want to take this cartilage that's right between the two and just knock it. I'm not cutting into it. I'm not slicing all the way through. I'm just notching it so that it goes through. And what I'm doing is I'm making it easier so that when I take the breast and I turn it sideways, it opens it up. I can pull the whole thing out, and I get all the cartilage and all of the bone at one time. Again, that goes into stock. Then I take this puppy and I just cut it in half. That wishbone is out of the way, so I don't have to worry about cutting through it. To the skin, I've got my chicken breast quarters and my leg and thigh quarters. Quartering a chicken.